Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunathaaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Ramadhama Samane Namagorodhanama Satam Namahamaksara Rasam Tarabhastu Navedaya Yadavenastu Bharata Samraraksha Mahamanaha Tam Samanadharo Gomaname Anema Samadhamaraha Yangadheyo Yogi Ragi Vaitane Saumye Saukhe Sau Tam khyatam sheetam sphitam bhimanamashrihatatratam tam trataha shrimanamabhitam sphitam sheetam khyatam saukhe saumye sauneta vaigiragi yo yodhe gayan. uh, we've done about 5 shlokas, which is actually 5 into 2, 10 shlokas, 5 with the Rama, following the Ramayana, and then another 5 following the Harivamsha Purana story of Krishna acquiring the Parijata Taru. The last shloka that we saw was Yan Gadheyo Yogi Ragi Vaitane Saume Saukhe Sau Tam Khyatam Sheetam Sphitam Bhiman Ama Ashrihata Tratam. So this describes Vishwamitra's Agamanam, his coming to the court of Dasharatha and asking for Rama to protect his sacrifice. So he has started a yagam there, and that yaga is continuously being disturbed by all the Rakshasas. So Saha Vishwamitraha Gadhisutaha Gadheyaha Vishwamitraha wanting to have a very peaceful sacrifice. Ragi, Kutra Ragi, Saumye, Saukhe, Vaitane, Vaitane, Saumye, Saukhe, Ragi. He wanted peace, he wanted happiness, Saukhyam. And that Saukhyam was not towards any material wealth or anything, but it was Saukhyam, a peace and happiness with respect to a peaceful sacrifice. His happiness that he wanted was directed towards Shanti Yuktam Yagam Eva Ichat, Natu Vishaya Bhogan Ichatiti Arthahatra. And he was also a person who avoided people who were opposed to Veda. Avaidikan Varjayati Sma. Ashrihata. Kutra, where did he come now? So he was also Bhiman. He was afraid that the Rakshasas were going to come and destroy the Yagam. So Swayajnasya Vignam Karishyanti iti Saha Bhiman Asit. And now he comes to Rama to ask for protection. So Prashantam Shantam Tarunam Ramam Prarthayitum Agachat. Now, he could have very well done it himself, but he got that protection from Rama. He also gave back so much to Rama. He gave him Astra, Jrimbaka Astra, and then Bala Atibala Mantram. So many, and he also, the next shloka that we are going to look at today is, he ensured that he married Sita also. So that was also part of Vishwamitra's, anugraham that he did to Rama. Now in the flip, that is in the Pratiloma Padyam, Tam Trataha Shriman Abhitam Sphitam Sheetam Khyatam Saukhe Saumye Asau Netavai Giragiyo Yodhe Gayan. Giragi, Devarshihi, Naradasya Atra Agamanam. So Narada comes there to Krishna, and that description is made here. So who is Narada here? Narada is a Brahmanottama. Devasura Yuddhe Tatra Devanam Bhayam Nivarya Utsaham Prapayati. He is a person who protects that fearlessness in people, in warriors. And whether Narada did that or not, there are instances in many Puranas where, Narada is a person who comes wherever there is confusion, and he gives clarity in that confused area, right? So that is his work. So he respects that and protects that fearlessness in a warrior. He is also a Brahmana who is Tejasvi Rishihi Saha. Kushalaha, gi ragi yaha. So sahatu gi ragi yaha, which means he is sangite vachi cha kushalaha saha gayan tatra agataha. So he came to Krishna, he came to see Krishna as he was singing, while singing. So he is constantly singing. He is also supposed to be the father of or the propounder of Sangeeta Vidya. Krishna सह एव त्राता जगतः हिताय उद्यतः अस्ति सः दयापूर्णः सुशीतं स्फीतं ख्यातं कृष्णं तं Shriman is actually Devarshi here. Naradaha, he came. Ama is again Prapa. Now we move on to the next 6A and B. So, Ma Ramam Sukumarabham Rasajapa Nritashritam Kavi Rama Dalapa Gosama Avamatara Nate. So, Maramam Sukumarabham Rasajapa Nritashritam Kavi Rama Dalapa Gosama Avamatara Nate. There is a bhangam there, but it's okay. Tenaratam Avamasa Gopala Damaravika Tam Shrita Nripaja Sarabham Rama Kusumam Rama. So this is the Pratiloma Padyam. Now let's go with the Padacheda here. Ma Ramam Sukumara Abham Rasaja Apa Nrita Ashritam. Nrita Ashritam. Should be Nrita Ashritam. Kaviramada Lapa Gosama Avamatara Nate. The Anvaya here is this Anuloma, the Anvayam is written correctly here. Okay. Kaviramada Lapa Gosama Ka Aviramada Lapa Gosama Nate Avamatara Rasaja Sukumara Abham Nritashritam Maramam Apa. Now, the Vivaham is described in the Shloka. The Vivaham between Rama and Sita is described in the Shloka. In the Pratiloma Shloka, how Narada gave Parijata Pushpam to Rukmini is described in the Pratiloma Padyam. So, in this Padyam, Sitayaha Rama Praptihi, Tatratu Rukminyaha Parijata Pushpa Praptihi. So, this is, he actually somewhat tries to, make it very correlative in both the Anuloma and the Pratiloma Padyam. So let's go over the Chandas here. The Chandas is Anushtub, which we have seen in the fourth Shloka. So there are 256 Bhedas, 8 Aksharas are there in Anushtub. We know that the Lakshanam here is Panchamam, Lagu Sarvatra, Saptamam, Dvichaturthayoho, Guru Shashtam Chapadanam, Chaturnam, Syad, Anuštubhi. So you have the fifth letter is Lagu, which I have marked here. So the fifth letter is always Laghu, and then the sixth is Guru. The seventh letter is Laghu in both the second and the fourth pada. This is Anushtub for you. Maramam Sukumarabham Rasaja Apa Nrita Shritam Kaviramada Alapa Kaviramada Lapa Gosama Vamatara Nate. Now, most of the Prathama Vibhakti Strilinga Padam are descriptive of Sita here. So he describes how Sita was during that wedding, and of course, Sita, such a beautiful Sita, she got Rama. So both description of Rama and description of Sita are there. In the first line, whichever is in the Dvitiya Vibhakti, Ma Ramam Sukumarabham Nritashritam is Rama. If you look at Rasaja, Kaviramada Lapa, Gosama, Avamatara, these are all for Sita here. So let's look at the first word, Kaviramada Lapa. Kam is Sukham. Sukham, na viramaha, aviramaha. So ka aviramaha, kasya aviramaha, ka aviramaha, tam dadati. Okay, before we go into the word by word thing, so Sita is someone who is able to carry on a conversation with without any interruption. So there is uninterrupted joy when you speak with the Sita. So Sita, whose conversation, lapa, abhilapa, her conversation gives, dadati, it gives abhirama, ka is sukham. So it gives a virama rahita sukham. Her conversation gives an uninterrupted joy. It gives so much of happiness. And there are a couple of instances in this, in Puranas and in Kavyams also, where it's actually one very beautiful incident is in Bhavabhuti's Uttar Ramacharitam. Bhavabhuti is a 6th century author. He has written 3 natakams, and in that there is one imaginative scene. This is not there in Ramayana, but there is an imaginative scene where, in Valmiki Ashrama, both Kausalya and Janaka come in, and they are seeing their both Lava and Kusha talking. So Janaka and Kausalya, as with all grandparents who see their grandchildren, the moment they see them, they will always look for those small things that they find in their children. They will start looking at their granddaughter or grandson in that manner. So they will say, see, Ramasya chaya atra vartate. Nana, adarastu Sitayaha iva vartate iti. So they both will have such a conversation, and one of them will say, the way they speak, the way the face just blooms when Lava speaks, it is reminiscent of Sita iti. So she is known for speaking very beautifully in that manner. So kam iti sukham. Na viramaha, aviramaha. There is no stop, which is there is no interruption to that sukham. So kasya aviramaha, kaviramaha. Kam means shiraha, ambu, sukham. These are words that we have seen those. It is very familiar for us. I'll tell you how. You know the word dasha kandhara. Kam, where kandharaha, kam dharati iti kandharaha. One who has 10 necks. So why is the neck called Kamdhara? Shiraha dharati iti Kandharaha. So Kam also means head. It also means Ambu. If you are familiar with music, Carnatic music, then there is one very famous song, Kanjadalayadakshi. Kanjadalayadakshi, Kanja lochanaha iti Vishnoho api padam vartate, right? So Kanja ityukte kaat jayate iti Kanjam lochana padmam. So a lotus is called that which is born out of water. So Kam iti Ambu. Kandhara also means a cloud, that which bears water. Now we need only the last meaning, which is Sukham. Kam, Sukham. Where is the reference here? In Chandogya Upanishad, our Vyakhyata himself gives this. So Kam Brahma, Kham Brahma iti, or Pranaha Brahma. Kam Brahma, Kham Brahma, iti Chandogya Upanishadi vartate. So Chandogya Upanishad says Brahma Tattvam, the ultimate reality, is Pranan is Brahman. Kam, Sukham is Brahman. Kham, Akasham is Brahman. So the word Kam is used in the sense of Sukha in Upanishad also. So our author has so much of vocabulary in his mind, right? So it is very impressive. So Kam, kaviramaha, kasya aviramaha, the conversation which doesn't have any stop. Tadrisha, sorry, not conversation. Sukham that has no interruption. Tam dadati iti kavirama daha. What gives such joy? It is a lapaha or abhilapaha bhashanam which gives so much joy. Who has this sort of a bhashanam? Sita. So kaviramadaha lapaha yasyaha sa Sita. The commentator says avichinna ananda prada suktika. This is another way of saying this one small word, kaviramada lapa. Avichinna, uninterrupted, anandam, happiness, bliss. Prada, that which gives. So suktika, one who has sukti, one who is able to speak in a manner which gives joy in an uninterrupted fashion. That is continuously. When you keep on talking with someone, they are either humorous or it is so nice to talk to them that you're constantly feeling very happy, right? So tadrishi Sita asit iti. So kaviramada lapa. And the next word here is go sama. This is a very interesting one where the author say that is the author and the commentator are the same person. Venkatadhwari takes it as only Bhumi Sama. I felt you can take it as Vak Sama also, because just now we have said that she has a speech which gives eternal joy. Right? It's constantly giving joy to people here. So tadrishi tu go sama eva vartate iti. Gauhu nama. There are many meanings for Gauhu also again. So in Amarakosha, you find Swarga, Ishu, Pashu, Vag, Vajra, Dik, Netra, Dhrini, Bhujale, Lakshya Drishtya, Striyam, Pumsi, Gauhu. Lakshya Drishtya, wherever you have to use it. Let's say you're using Gauhu as a padam for a female cow, then yes, it will be in Strilingam. If you are using to indicate Vrishabhaha, then you have to use that word Gauhu in Pullinga. So Gauhu is not always Strilinga Padam. Lakshya Drishtya, whatever we are trying to indicate, based on that, we have to put the lingam for this word, Gauhu. What we want here is she is Go Sama. She is equal to Gauhu. Who is Gauhu here? It can be Bhumi or it can also be Vak. Because she is equal to Vak Devata. Sakshat Lakshmi sa Shrihi Anavayini Shrihi iti. So being Lakshmi, she is definitely, she has that Shakti in her, and Vagdevata tu tatra vartate ega. And all of these Vagdevata, Lakshmi, all of these are Shakti of Tripura Sundari. So it is natural that that is also present within her. So Vagdevata Vagdevatayaha Tulyasa, Vagdevataya Tulyasa iti. So Go Sama. The other one is because in this avatar, as Sita, she was born to Mother Earth, right? So she was born to Earth. So Bhumehe api Bhumya Sama api. So she is equal to the Bhumi also. So Go Sama can mean Bhumi Sama, because we are going to mention Rasaja also. Rasaja is one who is born to earth. The next one is Nate Avamatara, one who is not Kutilam. She is not insincere. She is extremely sincere or extremely honest in giving anugraham to those who bow to her. Pranata Jananam Vishaye Nate Avamatara. Vama Nama. It can be Vama is Kutilam. Vama can also mean beautiful. Sundari iti Vama, beautiful woman. So Vamatara is Kutilatara, one who is extremely dishonest or one who is crooked in thinking. Avamatara, one who is not crooked at all in her thinking. That is, she has so much of patience towards people who bow down to her that she is extremely compassionate towards them. She is not crooked in thinking. She immediately provides does anugraham for them. In Vaishnava Sampradaya, every application to Vishnu has to go through Tayar. Tayar is Lakshmi. So every application has to go through Lakshmi here. So she is the one who takes care of people who bow down to Vishnu also. So Nate Pranata Jane, to those who bow down to her, she is not crooked, but she is very, very patient like Bhumi. So Go Sama Nate Avamatara. That's why in the shloka, if you find, I don't know if the commentator meant it or the author meant it in that manner, but when I read the shloka, I felt you can take this Go Sama as a Madhyamani. There is something called Madhyamani Nyaya, where one word, if it is present between two things, it is like, so this Madhyamani Nyayam is, let's take a big row of pearls, and then you have one huge ruby in the middle. Nice necklace, right? So this ruby, this Madhya Mani, will be counted along with this side also, and it will be counted along the other side also. In the same way, sometimes words in a poetry can be placed in such a manner that it can be connected with the left side word also and the right side word also. So go sama. Katham go samasa? Why is she equal to gohu? Here take gohu as vak and say, because she has a sweet speech which gives anandam to everybody, she is like Vak Devata. She is Bhumi Sama. Why is she like Bhumi Sama, Go Sama? Nate avamatara. She has so much of patience towards the people who bows. Kshama iti bhumyaha anyatnama. So Bhumi has another name also, right? So Kshama iti. She has so much of compassion and patience towards people who bow down to her. That is why she is Gosama avamatara nate. Next is Rasaja. The last word that indicates Sita here is Bhumija, Rasaja, Rasaja. Rasa is Bhuhu Bhumi Rachala Ananta Rasa Vishwambhara Sthira. Iti Amarakoshe Vartate. So Rasayaha Jata Rasaja, Bhumija, Sita. Sita was born from the earth. We all know the story. So Tadrishi Sita. Now where did she go? Ramam Apa. Sukumarabham. Nrita Shritam. Sukumarabham is very simple. Sukumara Abha Yasya Saha. Abha is luster, one who has a very soft luster, who is looking very charismatic, and at the same time he also has a very soft approach in him. When we think of Rama, we always think of him as a very not the Rama who faced Ravana, or the Rama who faced Karadushana. We always think of him as a soft person who has definitely has a charisma, but then we also think of him in a very nice manner in our mind, right? When we think of Krishna, we always think of, oh, he is a very clever person. There is one image that comes to our mind. So when we think of Rama, it is always one softness that we associate him with. So that is why he is an Ishta Devata for a lot of people. So Sukumara Abha Yasya Saha Saha Sukumarabha Tam Komala Prabham Ramam. The other word for him here is Nritashritam. Nritam Ashritaha Saha. So one who has taken on the human form. Nrita. Nr is Rikaranta Padam and Nuhu Bhavaha Nrita. Ta, let's say Sundaram. So Sundarasya Bhavaha Sundaratvam, Sundarata, Saundaryam, Sundarima. There are 4 ways to express bhava. Bhava can be used, so tasya bhavaha, when you want to say the ness of something, goodness of people, or the beauty. When you want to say that bhava vachanam, then you use the pratyaya tal or tva, or you can use anpratyaya, some other tadita pratyaya. You can also use imanich pratyaya. These are all the different pratyayas that can be used to indicate bhava. So Sundarata, Guruta, Gauravam, Guruta, Gurutvam, both can come. So here in the same manner, Nr is the Pratipadikam. So you have to put Tal behind Nr, the Pratipadikam only. So Nrita, Nritam Ashritaha, one who has taken on the Narabhavam. In the Yuddha Kandam, Rama says, Atmanam Manusham Manye Ramam Dasharatatmajam Yoham Yasya Yataschaham or Soham Yasya Yataschaham Bhagavan Tadbravitume. All the devas are all assembled there, and Sita is about to enter the fire. The devas are all coming there and saying, why are you doing this? Sita is your consort Lakshmi and you are Sakshat Narayana. So, but Rama says, Atmanam Manusham Manne. I think of myself as a human born to Dasharatha. Dasharatatmajam. Who am I and who do I belong to? From where do I come from? You have to tell me. So he asks all of the Lokapalas who are present there to inform him about his true nature here. So Rama always believed that he is a human, Manusham Manne. He thinks of himself as a Manava. So Nritam Ashritaha, Narabhavam Ashritam Tam Ramam, Ma Ramam, Yaha Mayaha Ramaha Asit, Ramaha Kantaha. One who is the Ma is Rama, is Lakshmi. and Ramaha is Kantaha. So one who is a Kanta or a beloved of Lakshmi. So Ma Ramam, one who was the beloved of Lakshmi, now has taken on the Nribhava, Nrita Ashritam, Tam Ramam, Sa Apa. She went to him in the sense of she chose him as her pati, and she the marriage happened. This is the description of that marriage, that's all, because the next shloka it takes us to something else. Okay, it takes us to Parashurama and all that. So this is where Vaidehi and or Janaki, Sita's and Rama's marriage has been indicated in this shloka. So Maramam Sukumarabham Nritashritam. Maramam, one who is Narayana's, one who is Lakshmi's consort, who had taken on a human form here, Nrita Ashritam. Sukumara Abham, who had a very soft demeanor or soft lustre around him, Tadrasham Ramam, Sita Apa. Sita attained her, that is, she married him. How was Sita? Sita was like Gosama. She was like Vagdevata because her lapa, her speech was Kaviramada. It gave Sukham, which was Avirama, which was uninterrupted. She was also Gosama, Bhumi Sama, because she had that compassion towards people who bowed down to her. Avamatara, she was not Kutila. She did not know all that. She won't look at all your past history and then think of whether to give you visa or not. That is not her idea. She is very straightforward. Oh, you have bowed down to me today? Okay, I will give you what you want. Tatha Asitsa. Rasaja, she is also Bhumija. She is the daughter of Bhuma Devi. So Maramam Sukumarabham Rasajapan Ritashritam Kaviramadalapa Gosama Vamatara Nate. This is, so far, I think this is the simplest of the shlokas that we have seen. Tena Ratam Avamasa Gopala Damaravika Tam Shrita Nripaja Sarabham Rama Kusumam Rama. This is a Pratiloma Padyam. The Padacheda here is Tena Ratam Avama Asa Gopalat Amaravika Tam Shrita Nripaja Sarabham Rama Kusumam Rama. Yeah. Let's go with the the Anvaya here is Rama Nripaja Tam Shrita Amaravika Avama Rama Tena Ratam Sarabham Kusumam Gopalat Asa Tam Shrita. I think I forgot to mention that in my, that's okay, I will add that later. Anyway, so Rama is the first word for Rukmini here. Rukmini is the avataram of Lakshmi. So in Vishnu Puranam, you have this quotation where he says, Raghavatve abhavat Sita. In Sri Stuti, Indra praises Shri Lakshmi here. I think he is devoid because of Durvasa's Shapa. He loses all of his wealth, and then he prays to Shri. So in that he describes how Shri takes on an avatara, no matter what avatara Vishnu takes. So Shri will always be with him in that avatara also. Raghavatve abhavat Sita. So we saw Sita in the earlier shloka, in the Anuloma shloka. In the Pratiloma shloka, we are seeing Rukmini here. Rukmini Krishna Janmani. When Vishnu takes on the Janma of Krishna, she was Rukmini here. Anyeshu cha avatareshu Vishnoho Yesha Anapayini. Anyeshu api avatareshu. In other avatars also, Yesha, Shrihi, Lakshmi, Vishnoho Anapayini. Apayam is Dhruvam Apaye Apadanam. In Vyakarana, you will read, right? Apayam is separation. Anapayini is one who does not separate herself from Vishnu at all. So Vishnoho Anapayini Esha. She is always present with Vishnu. So Rama Lakshmi hi eva Rukmini Rupena atra agata Krishna Janmani api. So Rama Nripaja Nripat Jata sa Rajaputri Sati. She is the daughter of King Bhishmaka. She has some 5 brothers, Rukmanga, or some 5 brothers are there for her, and she marries Krishna. Amaravika, Amaranam, Avika. Avanam is Rakshanam, protection. So Avika, Rakshika, she is the protector of all the devas. Avama, again, Kautilya Rahita. She's very straightforward. She cannot, she has so much of bhakti towards Krishna that it is difficult for Rukmini to think otherwise for her. So she's just as how Sita is, there is no kuyukti in their mind. She's very straightforward. Rukmini is also like that. All she knows is bhakti. Rama, she is the Kanta, she is the beloved of Krishna. And Tam Shrita. Tam Shrita here is Tam Krishnam, Shri Krishnam Prapta. So Rama, that Tam Shrita should be here somewhere. I should have mentioned that here. Totally forgot. So I will include that here also. So Rama, ya Lakshmihi Asit Purvam, Sa eva Adhuna Krishnam Shrita. Krishnam Patitvena Shrita. So she has now come to Krishna. See, the Krishnam Shrita is, she is the one who came to Krishna. The a very interesting episode is that Rukmini's letter that she writes in Bhagavatam. It is one well-planned kidnapping incident. Huh? She will give Krishna details on how to kidnap her. Excellent shlokas. There are about couple of shlokas there. It starts off with the Shrutva Gunan Bhuvana Sundara Shrinvatante Nirvishya Karna Vivaraihi Haratom Gatapam. So she describes him as, how she has heard about his beauty and how he has entered into her mind. Chittam apatrapam me, without any shame or without thinking about what other people will say. My mind is just involved in you. That is, she openly declares. First is the love confession, and then she tells him, I have no other choice because you are the best among people and I have to fall in love with you. The command and the straightforward thinking is seen in that Rukmini's love letter. Beautiful episode that is. And then she tells him, if you have to come and take me because my brothers and my father have decided to give me to Shishupala. So I will go to this temple on the morning of the marriage to Shishupala, but I will go to the temple and pray to Ambika. You have to come there and lift me and go away. So she stages that entire kidnapping episode. She gives Krishna what to do. So Tam Shrita, she has gone and, it's like she has completely surrendered herself to Krishna here. So Tam Shrita, Shri Krishnam Ashrita Esha, one who has surrendered herself or one who has attained Krishna. Nripaja, she was born to Bhishmaka, a king. Amaravika, all over, I'm not sure about Bhagavatam, but in Harivamsha Purana, right before this episode, I'll give the shlokas also. We will go through that Puranam section also. She does a lot of vratam and upavasas. She's constantly thinking about how to, lead a good dharma purvaka life. She's involved in karma here. As Rukmini, her mind is fully in puja and dharma karya. So, Amaravika, one who protects the devas. The devas depend on those people on this earth to for their food. So, if we follow dharma, if we do yaga yajnas, every day the argyam or the havis that we put inside the sacrificial fire goes as food for the devas. So, in fact, we protect the devas also. It is a mutual understanding. That way Rukmini was very involved in karma, that she protected the devas by performing all of these things. Upavasanam, she also had fasting right before the time when Narada comes and gives the Parijata Pushpam. So Rama, Nripaja, Tam Shrita, Amaravika, Avama, Kautilya Rahita. She has no kutilatvam. Without being crooked, she's very straightforward. Rama, she is also Kanta Vadhu, who she is the wife of Krishna. She grihitavati asa. She took, what did she take? She took from Gopala, from Krishna. Gopalat asa. She took from Krishna the flower kusumam. One word that is very simple here. Kusumam. Luckily he didn't give some other word for this pushpam. So kusumam Gopalat asa. She took the flower from Gopala, from Krishna. And what is this flower? There are two adjectives for this flower. One is Tena Ratam. Tena Naradena Ratam Dattam. That which was given by Narada. And Sarabham. Sarabham Sara Bhaha Kanti Yasyahasa. Later in the next shloka, we will see the importance of this padam here. Sarabham ityukte Sara Mukhya Bha Kantihi Yasya Tat Pushpasya tu Atyuttama Kantihi Asit. So it had a great luster that the moment she kept it, placed it on her hair, she completely transformed here. Rukmini transformed into a new person to look at. So tadrishi bha asit tasya pushpasya. So Sarabham Kusumam Gopalat Asa. We saw this Asa in the sense of Deepti Ramadhama Asa iti. So we saw this root, this dhatu in the sense of Deepti. Now we are seeing it in the sense of Adanam. Gati Deepti Adaneshu Asa. So Asa. Adanam. I told you how asa cannot exist on its own because asa dhatoho asti iti prathama vibhakti. Sorry, latlakaraha. For asti asa dhatu, the litlakara will be bhu. So because aster bhuhu, it will become babhuva. You can't have asa. Right? So then we'll have to look for another dhatu, which is asa. Gati deeptya adaneshu. This is the dhatu that we have to look for, and that the litlakara for that dhatu is asa. Asa here meaning grihitavati. She got the parijata flower from Krishna, Gopalat, which was given by Narada. Tena ratam pushpam sarabham pushpam. It was also a flower which had so much of beauty in it. Now I'm just going to go over a couple of shlokas in Harivamsha Purana, which actually correlates to each of the padam that is given here. Ramayanam is very popular. We all must have read Ramayanam in some way or the other, and parichayaha tu asti eva. And it's very easy to find sources on Ramayana and try to put. But then this episode is much not so known. So that's why I thought it will be a nice introduction to give some shlokas from the Purana to, maybe you will all be inspired to read the Purana. That's all. This is in Harivamsha Puranam, which is a Khila Bhaga of Mahabharata. And this is in the 56th Adhyaya. Panchashishtitame Adhyaye Vartate. Tatra first he asks, I think it is Janamejaya who asks these questions. One second. Yes, Janamejaya asks the questions and Vaishampayana answers. This is how the Mahabharata also goes, I think. Usually you have this conversation tree that goes on. Praptadaraha Mahateja Vasudevaha Pratapavan Rukminya Sahitaha Devya Yayau Raivatakam Nripa. So he asks, how does Krishna live with his wives? I want to know. That is what Janamejaya asks Vaishampayana, and Vaishampayana describes. After marriage, Krishna, Vasudevaha, Pratapavan, Prapta Daraha, having obtained all of the wives. That is when Jarasandha had imprisoned all of the wives and they all became Krishna's, all of the women, and Krishna married all of them, right? Prapta Daraha, Mahatejaha, Vasudevaha, Pratapavan. He had a very brave person also. Rukminya Sahitaha, Rukminya Devya Sahitaha, Raivatakam Yaya. Raivataka is a mountain where Rukmini wanted to go and do Upavasa. So we know Amaravika, that padam, for that padam I took these shlokas. So Upavasa avasanam hi Rukminyaha pratipujayan Tarpayishyan Swayam Vipran Jagama Madhusudanaha. As a conclusion of her Upavasam, So she maintained upavasa, fasting, for a certain number of period, and then at the end of that upavasa avasanam pratipujayan, usually you do a puja at the end of that upavasa, and to honor that upavasa avasanam tarpaishyan swayam madhusudanaha vipranjagama, he went to the brahmanas and he performed a lot of this karma. And every karma that a man performs, if he has a wife, the wife will get half of that palan. So, in other words, by Krishna performing all of these actions, it is Rukmini also will get some of the palan there, and he is pleasing the. Why did he even get into this? It is because to honor the upavasam that Rukmini did. That is why Krishna also had to perform all of these yagas. So, tarpayitva dvijan kamaihi ishtaihi ishtaha satang gatihi. Ishta also means yagam. So Ishtai Kamaihi here is having pleased all the Brahmanas with whatever they liked, and Ishtaihi Satam Gatihi Ishtaha. He also performed yagas to please Vishnu, who is the Adhidevata for the yagam. So Yajno vai Vishnu. Even though Krishna is an avatara of Vishnu, he has to show how people have to live. So that is why he performed the yaga to please Vishnu here. And then Jnatina Santarpayamasa Yatarham Bhaktavatsalaha. He also pleased all the Jnati relatives Yatharham, as is proper. Kutila, she is not Kutila here. That also, if you want to please your relatives, everybody who is in Grihastha knows if the wife doesn't like that relative, nothing will go to that relative. And if Krishna has pleased all of the relatives, definitely the wife is pleased here, right? So, and she is very straightforward. That is why Akutila iti. It's a very nice section in that Adhyaya, I thought, which explained all of these. I don't know if the author had that in mind, but it just fits very beautifully. Upavasa avasane atha bhagavan sa visheshataha bahumene priyam bharyam rukminim bhishmakatmajam. See, nrupaja ityuktam atra. So that nrupaja bhishmakasya atmaja, she is the daughter of Bhishmaka king. Tam priyam bharyam Rama, she is the beloved of Krishna here, right? That's what we saw here, right? Rama ityasti. What are the, so Rama is Lakshmi, Nripaja, and then Tamshrita, Amaravika, Rama. That's the word I was looking for, right? So Rama Priya Bharya Sa Rukmini Tam Bahumene Saha Krishnaha Bhagavan Visheshataha. In particular, all of the wives were present, but still in particular, he thought of Rukmini, Bhishmaka's daughter, as his Priya Bharya Bahumene. He also thought highly of her, regarded her very highly. Vasatastasya Krishnasya Sadarasya Amitaujasaha Sahasinasya Rukminya Naradaha Abhyayayo Munihi. I thought it was very contextual when the episode of Narada coming in to give that flower and all of the adjectives that the author has used for Rukmini fit in so beautifully here. Right? So Vasataha Tasya Krishnasya Sadarasya, when Krishna was living with all of those women, all of the wives, Amitaujasaha Asinasya, he was also sitting with the Rukmini. Rukminya Saha Asinasya Pattamahishi Sa iti karanat Taya Saha Upavishtaha Saha Krishnaha Tada Naradaha Munihi Abhyayayo. When he was sitting in that with Rukmini, Narada approached him. And Architaha Vasudevena, Saha Architaha Vasudevena, Munihi Architamaha Satam, Parijata Taroho Pushpam Dadau Krishnaya Bharata. So he only gave one flower of that Parijata Taru, or maybe he gave a bunch of flowers. It could be, right? So Pushpam Dadau Krishnaya, he gave that Parijata flower to Krishna. So this is the context in Harivamsha Puranam. So let's just go over the bhavartha of both shlokas. How Vaidehi Raghuvira Yoho Vivaha. So Maramam Sukumarabham Rasajapa Dritashritam Kaviramadalapa Gosama Mamatara Avamatara Nate. So Vaidehi, and that is Sita and Rama's Vivaha is shown in this shloka. Sita is like Vagdevata because she is able to nirvignena madhuram bhashate iti karanat sa kaviramada lapa. The next is she is also like Bhumi. She has so much of patience towards the people who bow down to her. So Nata Janeshu sa Dayavati Asti. Evam bhuta Sita Ramam patitvena prapa. So Ramam apa ityeva vartate. So why did she go to Rama as a as a wife? So she chose Rama as a husband here. So Ramascha, how was Rama? Komalakanti yuktaha sukumarabham Sakshat Narayanaha eva Ma Ramam, one who is the beloved of Ma Lakshmi, Nara Avataram Swikritya, so Nrita Ashritam, Agataha Asit Tadrisham Ramam Apa. So she went to Rama, that is, she married him. The Pratiloma Padyam, Tenaratam Avamasa, Gopala Damaravika, Tam Shritan Ripajasarabham, Rama Kusumam Rama. Rukminyaha Parijata Pushpa Praptihi. So she is the avataram of Krishna Patni Sa, Kutila Bhava Rahita. She is also the avatara of Lakshmi. Lakshmiyaha avatara bhuta. Tasmat Devanapi Arakshat. So that's why she has that mentality to protect all the devas, because she is the wife of Narayana also. Then Sa Naradena Dattam Kantiyuktam Pushpam Krishnat Agrahit. So she took that flower from Krishna, which Narada gave. Okay. So with this, the sixth shloka is over. If you have any questions, yeah, you can raise your hand. 1 minute. Let me unmute. Yes. Namaste. Shankari
Namaste, Mahodaya. Gauhu ityasya pullingam api strilingam api kutra kasya upyogah karniyah iti?
So pullinge to vrishabhaha. When you want to indicate an ox, then you use it in gauhu as pullinga padam. When you want to use pashumatukku solrache, then you use it in strilingam, right? Gauhu.
Context iti bhavatya uktam kila ataha.
Context na goman adenna and harihara bedha stutila vandu, when you think of ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಅದೆನ್ನ ಶ್ಲೋಕಂ ಅದು ಗೋಧರಹಾವ ಇಲ್ಲ ಗೋವಾಹನಃ ಅನ್ನೇದಾவது if you want to say govahanah for Shiva, then it is vrishabhavahanah eva saha. So then there you have to say gauhu as pullingam anna.
Vishwamitrasya Bhiman iti padam asit kila. Vasudha madhu pratyah bihi asya asti iti bhavati. मम मनसि एवम् आगतं विश्वामित्रस्य दर्शनात् दशरथः भीतः इति
तत्र भीतः आसीत् प्रायः, but he was also worried about more here in the context. You have to take it as Vishwamitra's adjective.
वास्तवं किन्तु एवं मनसि आगतं विश्वामित्रः आगतः चेत् सर्वेषां भीतिः भवति किल, किं करोति. बहु सम्यक् अस्ति महोदय, धन्यवादाः.
Thank you. Sushila Mode, yeah.
Namaste, ma'am.
Namaste.
So, how will the assessment be like, and when do you plan to have the assessment?
I think last time also someone asked this question, and I said, at least let me go through some 15 shlokas and then decide about it, how the assessment would be. Because for now, I am trying to make sense of the Kavyam itself. It is a tough one for me also. So it won't be too tough. First, let's enjoy the Kavyam and then we can decide about the assessment. Yes. Don't worry too much.
It will be an objective kind of thing, like in the sense mark, out of 3-4 choices.
Most of my courses are never like that, so you don't need to worry. Even if I conduct a course for some 50 people, there will be 4 people writing the exam, so it's okay. Most of my students or most of the people who come for my courses just enjoy and go back, and I'm also fine with that. Let's see how it goes.
That's very nice to hear, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, Geeta ma'am. Yes.
Hari Om. Bhagini, I was just thinking, this is just out of context. When I was watching the TV, the RMKV advertiser saying that this is Parampara Pattu, you can wear it both the sides, either sides, this side, that side, both the sides, you can wear it. And I was just thinking, what are you talking about, Pattu, Parampara Pattu? We have Kavyams and Shlokams, and these people have written which can be read from both the either side, this from left to right, right to left, and with two different kavyams there, and with both equally good, equally beautiful, equally
The sari was
enjoyable.
influenced by this. That's why it's Parampara Pattu.
Whatever, but I was just thinking, what parampara to both the sides, so you only have to choose this thing. I was just thinking, it was wonderful, really. This is the kavyam. How can you write? We only take each word, saying that this word can be, if you spell it from left to right or right to left, you have the same those things. But kavyams, can they write it like this? How can
They say it needs a lot of anugraham. No? Without Daivanugraham, it is impossible to write like this. So they must have done so much of upasana. It's the only way they can do it.
Correct, but we can only talk of such things in the past, about the past tense. That's all. No present continuous or for future tense. I
There
suppose.
are people who write now also. There are
Yeah?
yeah, of course. There are people who are there like Shatabdhani Ganesh Modaya. They're all people who write kavyams even today. They have if they put their mind to such themes, they definitely can. You should see the Avadhanis.
Avadhanis, yes. We also listen to the Ashtavadhanam and all that, right? But with this kavyams, I didn't know that. Even present tense they exist. I didn't know that. Okay.
Some people do, right? But this kind of effort, I think it's something unique, which a lot of people don't venture into too much today.
And to bring it out, to understand is also another thing. It's hats off to you too.
Thank you. Anuradha Mode? Yeah.
Namaskara, Mahoday.
Namaste.
I watch all of your YouTube videos, and I enjoy your teaching and the way you explain. I have one doubt, not regarding this, but something else. Can I ask here?
Sure.
Because I won't get a chance
Sure.
in YouTube
Okay.
to ask. See,
Sure.
you have told in one instance that Kunti gave the Ashirvad to Subhadra. भाग्यवानं प्रसूयेत न धीरा न विद्वा न पंडितः.
Okay.
She gave birth to Abhimanyu, and when I think of his death, the way it happened, so where that Bhagya went off with that Ashirvad, I'm not able to understand. Correlate.
Yeah. I think I wrote an answer to that also. See, Abhimanyu, one is he had the great bhagyam of learning Dhanurvidya at a very young age. See, so not many people will get that, right? That sort of a thing is not there at all. Now, the next is Veera Surga Prapti.
No, not fully he learned, because halfway the mother went asleep, and
that is only for the Chakravyuham. Everything else he knew. Then he was an expert in Dhanurvidya. In fact, he is the one who teaches Vajranabha, who is the great-grandson of Krishna. Great-grandson of Krishna. Aniruddha's son, Vajranabha. This is there in Skanda Puranam, in the Vishnu Khanda, where Abhimanyu is the teacher of Vajranabha.
Okay.
Yes, so when Parikshit goes and meets Vajranabha at one point, he says, your father was my guru. So he learned that Dhanurvidya to such an extent that he could teach another person also. So it is not half-baked knowledge. The next is he attained Veeraswarga because he died in war. The third is his progeny Parikshit ruled Hastinapura when there were hundreds of people who could have had, this thing, but still it was only his progeny Parikshit who ruled Hastinapura. So
one more question.
What I'm trying to say is karma works in so many mysterious ways that our perspective of bhagyam is so different from what actually is.
This is what I wanted to learn from you. And plus, one more thing.
Yeah.
This one, Kunti gave Ashirvad to Subhadra. Why not she gave Ashirvad to Draupadi? She was the first daughter-in-law.
Yeah, that's where karma becomes a difficult thing to explain. I don't know. Sometimes
Yes.
maybe those children were meant to be born and died or whatever, or this sort of a series of things have to be done for Ashwatthama to be a Chiranjeevi and cursed to live for a long time until Pranaya. No,
Yes,
so many things
my
can.
mind went that she was from Roshni Vamsha, Subhadra and Kunti both. So
That's true.
that she explains in Bhagavatam Purana also that my attachment to both these clans should be cut off. To Krishna, she's asking. So maybe that made her to give the Ashirvad to Subhadra. I don't know, but this is my mind working. I wanted to share with you.
Oh, sure. Kishore Madhya, you had a question?
Dhanyawada.
Shamita Mahodaya.
My question is this, that the Go Shabda, you said that both Pulinga and Strilinga version.
Yes.
So how does the Shabda Roop changes?
There is no change as such. If I remember right, both Pullinga and Strilinga will be the same. I'll have to look up Shabda Mansari. I'm a little bad with that. So I think the forms are the same.
So the forms will be the same as
Very similar.
usually the thing is under Strilinga, in the feminine gender.
Yeah. It'll be a little different, but I think it's the same format for both. You can check in. No worries. Any other questions?
No, that was the thing, because in the modern days, many females have the same male names. For example, especially among the people from the Punjab, like the Sati could be female or male, but how the Shabda Roop will change, that was a question I always wanted to find out.
Okay.
So you just said that it does not change.
Doesn't. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Shamita Mahodaya. Living as a Chiranjeevi for Ashwatthama, was it a curse?
Of course. Why would you want to live for such a long time? I had a grandfather who would say, he would say at the age of 79, he would say, I'm waiting for my ticket. Krishna has not yet sent it. So I'd say, no, you have to live for 100 years. He would say, Shabikya Dambar, don't give me a curse, he would say. I don't want to live for 100 years. It's a curse, Sabimbar. No?
But for others like Hanuman and all, he wants to enjoy Rama's name still.
That is different. See, what sort of a life is different? No, see, Ashwatthama was, it'll take time for him to get out of all that, and he has to, he's a sinful person in that manner. So he has to do something to remove that. So, yeah.
Dhanyawada.
Ma'am, one more question. One more question. That in Bhagyavantam, why didn't it stop Bhagyavantam prasuyeta? Na dhira, na pandita. What is the sense in na pandita, na dhira? Why that negative is used?
Na dhira, because there is, see, just kevalam dhiraha eva asti, kintu bhagyavan nasti cheta, there is no prayojanam there. What is the point in that bravery, or what is the point in that learning if he doesn't have the fortune to show it to people or to use it in a good manner? Then there is no sense in having that quality in them. That's why.
No, that's okay. But
it's not about. No, it's not about he should not be a dhira. He should not be a pandita iti nasti. That is not the point. Even if he is a pandita, even if he is a dhira, the point to be stressed is bhagyam. He has to have the fate to enjoy or to, spread it to others, to make it useful.
Now I learned to give the Ashirvad because I'm 70 years old and people ask that Ashirvad. So I learned this one, to give this one. Bhagyavantam prasuyet. I am avoiding the other things. I am avoiding the last, na dhira, na pandita.
Nice.
Dhanyawada.
Dhanyawada. Yeah. रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः